Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.
On News Hour tonight, police arrest suspended Adamawa resident electoral commissioner. Ban on importation of Indomie noodles generates reaction from consumers. Lawmakers summon Foreign Affairs Minister, others over Sudan crisis. On the international scene, fighting rages in Sudan as UN agencies warn of humanitarian catastrophe. Hello and welcome to News Hour on Trust TV. I am Sagir Ibrahim. Thanks for joining us. The suspended resident electoral commissioner of Adamawa State, Hudu Yunusa Ari, has been arrested. Muyiwa Adejobi, Force Public Relations Officer, confirmed Yunusa Ari's arrest on Tuesday. He said some of the persons who played roles in the controversy surrounding the election were also being probed. The suspended Adamawa State Resident Electoral Commissioner had earlier denied receiving bribe to announce Aishatu Binani as winner of the governorship election in the state. In his first interview granted to the BBC since his suspension, the REC insisted that he did not regret his actions and said he was ready to honor a police invitation to explain his role in the election. He insisted that he was not in hiding.
Da binani da fintili ban tambaye su ba kuma ban aika wani biban ko kwandala.
Between Binani and Fintiri, I have not asked any one of them to give a penny. I'm saying it openly. I did not receive money from the both parties. If they gave me money, they would have told people about it. I don't collect bribe because it is unlawful and it will tarnish my image and reputation. Where will I take 2 billion naira to? I also saw it on the social media that I was giving 2 billion, and that's actually a fallacy. It is actually true that the police have invited me to come, and I will definitely go soon to clarify myself on the issue. I have no regrets. Something you do in accordance with the law, you don't regret it.
Also, former Minister of Niger Delta Affairs and now Senator-elect for the Ikot-Ekpene Senatorial District, Senator Godswill Akpabio, has informed President Muhammadu Buhari of his intent to become the President of the 10th Senate. He stated this on Sunday evening after meeting with the president at his official residence inside the presidential villa, Abuja. Akpabio also said as president of the Senate, he would work closely with incoming Asiwaju Bola Tinubu presidency to empower Nigerians, particularly the youth. The senator-elect, who said besides visiting to inform the president of his intent to lead the next Senate, he thanked him for the opportunity to serve as minister in his administration. He added that he presented his certificate of return to the number one citizen.
Akpabio is known as an uncommon transformer. Akpabio is known as a man who is result-oriented. I recall that when I was a governor, I brought so many innovations to bear, infrastructurally, educationally, socially, and otherwise, and also in terms of human empowerment. So I intend to bring a lot of reforms into the Senate in the ways and manner we do business to assist the next administration to succeed. We will be very thorough in doing everything. We will bring about loyalty to the Constitution. We will bring about loyalty to Nigerians. We will tackle issues through legislation to empower Nigerians, and particularly the youths. The restiveness that we are seeing across the nation, we will do our best to make good laws and to assist the administration to bring about policies that will empower the youths of the country. I made that promise even on the convention day, that being a man who used to turn boys into men and who still do, that I'll be glad to work with the incoming president, who has also shown that example in Lagos State when he was a governor and thereafter as a leader of the APC in Nigeria. He has continued to turn boys into men. And as president of the country, after his swearing in, I expect that he will continue to do so. So the youths are in for a very good time in terms of empowerment. There will be no time for slacking. And then we will restrict a lot of them from being lured into criminality, into brigandage and all that. So we will get them working. And I believe strongly, with the help of God Almighty, that both the National Assembly and the executive will do a lot for the youth of this country.
Also, Senator-elect and Governor Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State has joined the team of key personalities who have informed President Muhammadu Buhari of their intent to be president of the 10th Senate. He announced the decision on Tuesday after meeting with the president at the presidential villa, Abuja. Umahi said justice, equity and fairness must guide the ruling All Progressives Congress when zoning the principal offices of the 10th National Assembly. The governor, who said the Southeast made considerable contributions to the victory of the president-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, advised the party against gauging its choices of candidates by vote contributions alone. Umahi said allowing the Southeast to produce the next president of the Senate would inspire buy-in from the opposition in the National Assembly.
The moment our party gets it right, and by saying, look, for the unity of the country, for equity and fairness, this is the zone this thing should go. And I think that it should be Southeast, unless if I'm, proved otherwise. Then it will now be a project that has the grace of God. It has, fairness, equity, and justice. And a lot of people will key into that. But when you have other criteria, other than the criteria of equity, fairness, and justice, then that's where we begin to struggle. And I pray that we do not struggle. So I believe strongly that if this is zoned to Southeast and then without prejudice to the rights of every other zone to aspire for this office, but there would be a kind of, sympathy, because when you are doing political permutation and sharing, you must have formula. So the moment the formula is very clear to Nigeria, and that this formula you are putting forward is placing Nigeria ahead of personal interest, ahead of regional interest, then every other person will key in. So I think what is key is for equity, fairness, and justice. And you see that even the opposition party will key in. We see reasons for that.
The National Industrial Court has fixed May 11th for the continuation of hearing on the legality of the strike embarked upon by the Academic Staff Union of Universities on the 25th of February 2022. The president of the National Industrial Court of Nigeria, Justice Benedict Kanyip, who presided over the case, gave the ruling on Tuesday in Abuja. Noah Samson was there and has more.
Issues deliberated during resumed hearing of the 360 suit were those of the legality of the strike action, which the federal government considers illegal, as well as the order that the lecturers having embarked on an illegal strike are not entitled to payment during the said period. The federal government is also asking the court not to grant the university's lecturers the request to use the preferred platform for salary payment when, according to government, the platform failed integrity tests. Counsel to the federal government, James Igwe, also made reference to the failure of ASUU to file their annual returns beginning from 2014, as well as the teacher gross with the registration of Kunwa and NAMDAS.
Several years beginning from 2014, ASUU never filed their annual returns. The law says you should, as a trade union, before the 1st of June of every year, file your annual returns. But records show that they never did. They purported to do so only in 2022 and it was not complete. So they came to court. The federal government didn't take them to court. And then we are saying that they have approached the court with dirty hands of non-compliance with the law. And then they are trying to restrain, they are asking for a perpetual injunction to restrain the Registrar of Trade Union from performing his statutory responsibilities. And we are saying that that cannot be. You cannot restrain the Registrar of Trade Unions from performing his duties as prescribed by law when you have not obeyed the same law.
The counsel to the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, Marshal Abubakar, among other things, applied for the matter to be referred to the arbitration center of the court. in line with Section 254, subsection 3 of the court. The court also gave ASUU 7 days to their addresses before adjourning to May 11.
We applied that two of the matters be referred to an arbitration. Now, there's a provision under the law, Section 254 C, sub 3, which provides that where there are issues as pertains to trade disputes that the National Industrial Court has the jurisdiction to hear and determine. Such matters can be referred to the ADR center established by the National Industrial Court. So we put an application today to refer those matters to the arbitration center of the court, and the hearing or decisions on the particular application has been adjourned till tomorrow.
ASUU had on 28th of March promised to call 3 witnesses at Tuesday's resumed hearing, but however opted for referral to the arbitration center. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
To other stories now. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has denied reports of banning Indomie instant noodles and has assured consumers that the product is safe for consumption. Speaking on Tuesday, the Director General of the agency, Mojishola Adeyeye, said Indomie has been on the government prohibition list for many years to encourage local manufacturing, adding that NAFDAC has registered several local manufacturers who produce safe noodles for consumption. She also said NAFDAC will begin random sampling of Indomie noodles, including the seasoning, from the production facilities to ascertain their safety levels for consumption. It should be recalled that health officials in Malaysia and Taiwan had claimed to detect ethylene oxide, a carcinogenic substance responsible for lymphoid and breast cancers in the product, leading to a series of investigations of Indofoods, the manufacturers of the product. Still on the controversy around the ban of Indomie noodles, mixed reactions have continued to trail the ban of the product by the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control. NAFDAC decision followed the detection of ethylene oxide, a substance known to cause cancer, by the Health Institution of Malaysia and Taiwan. In Jos, the Plateau State capital, residents are expressing divergent views on the development. Ado Musa completes the report.
Although NAFDAC is yet to conclude investigation into the Indomie noodles cancer issue, the outcome of the investigation by the two countries has raised concerns, considering the danger of the disease it causes. While some Jos residents are of the opinion that a ban on the importation of the product is not a welcome idea, some say the decision is a source of concern.
Indomie din nan dai naga kamar a kasan nan dai ake yin sa.
This Indomie has been in existence for almost 20 years, and NAFDAC has not been able to investigate and come out with such decision. To me, government hasn't tried because many may have died of cancer. NAFDAC should have done the investigation even before permitting us to be eating any food.
Ni dai ra'ayina akan wannan sanarwa da NAFDAC ta yi.
It is the duty of NAFDAC to be taking this kind of decision. It is clear to me that they are doing their job. It is their responsibility to be investigating all kinds of foods that we will be eating. They have realized that the Indomie will negatively affect our health. It is a welcome idea.
I'm happy
that NAFDAC is investigating the food. If it is discovered that eating such food is not good for our health, it is better that such should not be left in the market for people's consumption. The decision by Malaysia and Taiwan to recall Indomie special chicken flavor noodles has raised some concerns about the safety of the food globally, including Nigeria. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
Also, Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has declared Wednesday as a public holiday to enable the people of Rivers State give the President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu a rousing welcome. The President-elect, during his 2-day official visit to Rivers State, is scheduled to commission the Rumola-Rumokuta flyover and the ultra-modern Magistrates Court Complex, Port Harcourt, on Wednesday and Thursday. Wike, in a state broadcast on Tuesday, said during Tinubu's presidential campaign visit to Rivers State, he had indicated intention to have him commission some strategic projects in the state after the general election. He said a formal invitation was sent to the president-elect after the general elections, which he graciously accepted. Wike explained that the proposed visit to Rivers State is Tinubu's first official visit to any state since he emerged as the president-elect of Nigeria.
The President-elect of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will pay a 2-day official visit to Rivers State from tomorrow, Wednesday, 3rd to 4th of May 2023, to commission the Rumuola Rumukuta flyover and the Ultramodern Magistrates Court Complex, Port Harcourt, respectively. Recall that during his presidential campaign visit to Rivers State, I indicated our intention to have the President-elect commission some of our strategic projects after the general elections and sent him a formal invitation, which he graciously accepted. The proposed visit to Rivers State is Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu's first official visit to any state since he emerged as the President-elect of this great country. Furthermore, by this visit, the President-elect will join the long list of distinguished Nigerians who we have hosted to either flag off or commission landmark projects in Rivers State. For us, it's an honor to the government and people of Rivers State to host the President-elect on this historic visit. Consequently, I urge all Rivers citizens to come out en masse to receive our President-elect, His Excellency Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and display the traditional Rivers hospitality as he commissions these legacy projects to God's glory and advancement of our development.
Rivers State Governor there, Nyesom Wike. Also, residents of Katsina State have expressed divergent opinions after President Muhammadu Buhari made passionate appeal for pardon about his stewardship before his exit on May 29. Abdullahi Yamadi samples the opinions of some residents and now reports.
Katsina State has its share of rising banditry and the resultant destructions and dislocations. Even though President Buhari hails from the state, Katsina is not insulated from the economic hardship the rest of the country is facing. Inflation and the Naira redesign policy have negative impacts on businesses in the state. Little wonder the president's passionate appeal for pardon generated heated arguments among residents.
Why are they asking for forgiveness? For God's sake, if they knew that they have done something meaningful and impacted to the welfare of the citizens of the country or to the state that they are governing. This is, to me, from my own perspective, is that it is just because they took our electorate, the masses, the majority of the masses as ignorant.
I think this is not the right time that Mr. President should come out and seeking for forgiveness to Nigerians.
President Muhammadu Buhari, as he just come out publicly seeking for forgiveness to Nigerians. Yes, Buhari came into the mantle of leadership during the time when the country was in economic setback. The insecurity level was high.
This is in addition to uncompleted dualization of Katsina-Kano Road and 10 megawatts Lambarimi windmill electricity projects, among many other promises by the government. But the President Buhari's pardon appeal gets endorsement of some scholars and clerics from the religious perspectives.
Why not? We forgive. My religion says forgive and forget. That's what the Bible said. I'm a Christian. So I believe somebody can make mistake. I believe everybody is human, so we make mistake. So whenever someone realizes mistakes and asks for forgiveness, I believe we are humans. We need to forgive because God forgives us every day.
So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala command us, we as Muslims, to forgive. Don't ever think that whenever you are in power, you can do whatever you want to do, and at the end of your tenure, you will just ask for forgiveness, and that is all. That is the end of the story. No. Even if they forgive you, there is so many things Allah will ask you on it.
With only a few days away to the expiration of the tenure of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration, many residents are hopeful the incoming administration will address shortcomings and consolidate on the successes of the government. Abdullahi Izumay Ahmadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
President Muhammadu Buhari has reappointed Abike Dabiri-Erewa for a second term as the chairman of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM. President has also written the Senate seeking the confirmation of the appointment of 6 federal commissioners of the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission to fill the existing vacancies in the state. Our National Assembly correspondent sent in this report as presented from our studios.
The notice of Abike Dabiri-Erewa's reappointment was contained in a letter from the President to the Senate requesting the upper chamber of the National Assembly to confirm her reappointment. She was a senior special advisor to the President on Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Matters before the appointment. Dabiri-Erewa was also a member of the House of Representatives for Ikorodu Federal Constituency in Lagos from 2003 to 2015. While she was at the House of Representatives, Dabiri chaired the House Committee on Diaspora Affairs.
Dear distinguished Senate President, the appointment of Honorable Dr. Abike Dabiri-Erewa, OON, as Chairman CEO of Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, for a second term. In accordance with the provisions of Subsection 2 of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission Establishment Act 2017, I write to forward the name of Honorable Dr. Abike Dabiri-Erewa as Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission for confirmation by the Senate for a second and final term.
For the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission nominees, President Buhari is asking the Senate to approve Anyogu Eze, Peter Okpara, Hawa Aliyu, Regia Ayuba, Kolawole Adebola, and Ismaila Agaka.
I am pleased to forward for confirmation by the Senate the appointment of 6 unlisted nominees as federal commissioners to fill the existing vacancies of their respective states in the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Senate has mandated the Committee on Interior to investigate the circumstances causing the delay in the issue and renewal of passport by the Nigerian Immigration Service. The Senate issued the directive to its Committee on Interior at the resumption of plenary on Tuesday, following a motion by Senator Uche Ekwenife, who said Nigerians are finding it difficult getting their passports. She explained that despite the 6 weeks timeline, Nigerians now spend between 3 to 6 months to get them.
Mr. President, the Senate observes that getting an appointment for biometrics capturing at the passport offices now takes between 5 to 8 weeks. After biometrics, many applicants still spend more than 4 months waiting for their passports to be ready for collection.
The passport is the right of every Nigerian. And the situation we're in today, we were in about 15-20 years ago. How did we get back here is what all of us are worried about. And it is important that we resolve this as soon as possible.
To investigate the circumstances that led to the delays in the issuance and renewal of Nigerian passports by the Nigerian Immigration Service, I report back to the Senate within 2 weeks. Those in favor of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay, the ayes have it.
The Senate has also asked its Committee on Interior to probe the contract for the printing of passports by the Nigerian Immigration Service.
You're watching News Hour on Trust TV. Still to come. Story of a roadside motor park that runs 24-hour service. This and more after the break. Welcome back. If you're just joining, you're watching News Hour on Trust TV. Now recap of some of our major stories. Police arrest suspended Adamawa resident electoral commissioner. Ban on importation of Indomie noodles generate reactions from consumers. Moving on to other stories now. 11 suspected oil thieves have been nabbed with thousands of liters of adulterated gasoline oil, trucks, cars and a wooden boat in different parts of Rivers State. The State Command of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, which made the arrest, disclosed this while addressing the press. The report.
Briefing newsmen on the arrest at Ogbogoro Jetty, one of its exhibit yards in Port Harcourt. The NSCDC River State Commandant Michael Orga vowed that the resurgence of illegal oil refining activities in the state will be ruthlessly dealt with.
You see the exhibits that were arrested within 1 week. And this exhibit includes illegally refined AGO, the one we showed you inside that pop boat. And that one we told that is about 30,000 liters. We also showed you this one behind us is good. The quantity cannot be ascertained now. Also, we show you the one in that Pathfinder and the one in those other 2 vehicles. They were arrested within the last 7 days. We have about 11 suspects.
Commandant Orga, who said the gradual resurgence of illegal crude oil activities in Rivers State will not be taken lightly. Further, explained that the Corps has advanced its intelligence to quell the nefarious activities of those involved in bunkering.
The security agencies are working as a group, standardizing to fight this illegality. But what we observe is that the security agency cannot be everywhere. Sometimes when we destroy their illegal refineries, when we go to other sections, they rebuild them. Like as I talk to you now, our men, they are working in Akutoro and Asaitoro area now with the Nigerian Navy. We have destroyed more than 300 illegal refineries now.
The NSCDC Rivers boss hinted that the suspects will face the full wrath of the law, while the adulterated products will be forfeited to the federal government after a thorough investigation.
Security operatives in Kaduna State are launching an offensive on the activities of phone snatchers that have been terrorizing residents of the state. The police in a recent clampdown have raided hideouts of gangs of criminals, leading to the arrest of over 350 criminals within the Kaduna metropolis and environs. Bello Musa has the details.
The suspects arrested include the criminals locally known as Ensara Suka, whose crimes include stealing and snatching of mobile phones and threatening the lives of citizens. While addressing journalists in Kaduna, the police public relations officer, DSP Jalinge Mohammed, revealed that mobile phones, motorcycles, vehicles, various weapons, and over 1,700 kg of Indian hemp were recovered during the raid and arrest of the suspects.
The command has launched a serious manhunt on the criminals hibernating in some identified black spots within Kaduna metropolis and environs, following the outcry on the nefarious activities of these criminal elements. The gallant determination of our personnel has yielded a positive result with the arrest of over 350 suspects.
The State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Arwan, said phone snatchers are threatening the lives of the citizens and government will not relent on its fight against gangsterism in the state.
You can see what they have cost us within the last few weeks. We have lost lives were lost. They have injured so many of our people with severe injuries. So we are appealing to members of the general public to help security agencies so that we can be able to contain this situation.
Some of the suspects regretted their actions and advised the youth to shun any form of crime and violence. This is my first time of being arrested, and I regretted it. I will never go back to crime again. I have a bikeman that carries me within the metropolis. Whenever I see targets, I threaten them with a knife and collect their funds. I know my victims feel bad when I snatch their phone, but I enjoy spending the money I got from selling the phones. Recently, the activities of Sarah Suka and phone snatching have been on the increase in the metropolis, the situation that becomes a source of worry for many residents. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Still on security, 2 people were feared dead on Monday night when suspected bandits invaded Kofar Corner area of Zaria City in Kaduna State. Sources said the suspected armed men, who numbered about 50, arrived at the area on foot at about 9:40 p.m. and proceeded to the residence of a custom officer, Malam Abubakar Modibo, and kidnapped his wife, Asia Abubakar, along with his 2 daughters. The bandits also shot dead one Zahraddin Muhammad of Amaru and Sanusi Sani of Dorai, who were just passing by. Sani was later reported to have died in the morning after being rushed to the hospital. A vigilante group member who also claimed anonymity disclosed that the bandits, who immediately proceeded to Dorei village in the outskirts of Zaria, rustled a number of cattle. Efforts to contact the Kaduna State Police Public Relations Officer, DSP Mohammed Jalige, was not successful. Also, gunmen have reportedly kidnapped a former chairman of the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees in Nasarawa State, Ismail Konga, and killed a Hilux driver who ran into the kidnappers in the state. Konga was kidnapped alongside 2 others while on his way from Akwanga town, the headquarters of Akwanga local government area, to his country home, Andaha, where he stays with his family. A family source who pleaded anonymity said the kidnappers mounted a roadblock on the Akwanga-Jos Federal Highway between Ningo village and Andaha, where they got their victims. The sources said the kidnappers have contacted the family and demanded 2 million naira as ransom. The State Police Command is yet to officially confirm the incident. Also, Kano State Police Command has vowed to employ all available resources towards identifying the drivers of crime escalation across the state. While addressing officers and men of the command, the newly posted Commissioner of Police, Mohammed Gumel, promised to lead the command on community partnership with robust intelligence gathering. Trust TV correspondent Idris Jibrin reports.
Arriving the headquarters of Kano Command of the Nigeria Police Post in Bompai, CP Mohammed Gumel was received by the Deputy Police Commissioners and other senior officers of the command in Kano State. Back at the police officers' mates, the newly posted security sheriff for Kano met with the divisional police officers across the 44 local government areas of the state.
It will be my priority to drive the State Police Command on the pathway of improving the deployment of intelligence assets for the gathering of reliable evidence and application of the right technology in fighting all forms of criminal activity. According
to CP Gumel, there is no standalone agency that can claim the monopoly of providing efficient security. Hence, the need for all stakeholders to build a stronger synergy with all conventional security agencies across the states.
I have learned over the years that it is desirable for all police officers to always exhibit professionalism in the discharge of their duty. It makes the police institution more respected and their action acceptable to the community.
Community partnership, use of technology in tracking crime, community policing program as well as emergency response mechanism are some of the areas Police Command in Kano intends to focus its attention.
My vision is to build the Nigeria police and the police command transparently to build it on community partnership with both intelligence gathering, the use of the right technology, and run proper friendly police with respect to fundamental human rights and freedom.
While seeking the support and cooperation of all stakeholders in Kano, the command warns that henceforth there will be no hiding place for phone snatchers, political thugs, and all other kinds of criminals in Kano State. Idris Jubrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
The driver of a bus rapid transit vehicle that crashed into a moving train at Ikeja along Shogunle area of Lagos State, Oluwaseun Osibanjo, has been arraigned before an Ikeja High Court for manslaughter. He was arraigned on Tuesday before Justice Oyindamola Ogala on 16 counts bordering on involuntary manslaughter and grievous harm preferred against him by the state government. Osibanjo was conveying some staff members of the Lagos state government to work on March 9th and wanted to cross the rail line when he rammed the bus into the moving train. At least 6 persons died from the accident, while many others sustained various degrees of injuries. The Director of Public Prosecutions, Babajide Martins, told the court that the BRT driver negligently killed the victims by ignoring warning signals and ran into an ongoing train. He said the defendant also negligently inflicted various degrees of harm on 10 other passengers on the bus. Also, the Delta State Police Command on Tuesday said it has killed one suspect of kidnapping during a gun duel at Ovia Alaja in Udu local government area of the state, while 3 others were arrested. The command spokesperson, Bright Edafe, disclosed this via a statement made available to newsmen in Asaba. Edafe said the suspect, simply identified as Felix, aka OBJ, was shot during a gun duel and later confirmed dead at a hospital. He alleged that the suspected kidnappers snatched one AK-47 rifle from a police officer and also kidnapped and murdered one God's Power Emmanuel after collecting 400,000 naira ransom. He listed items recovered from the suspects to include one AK-47 rifle, 18 rounds of 7.62mm ammunition, one English double-barrel gun, 11 Android phones, and one suspected stolen white-colored GLK Mercedes-Benz with registration number YEB733BK, among others. Mile 3 Gombe is the most popular roadside motor park in the whole of the state, welcoming visitors from different parts of the country. For years, transport workers and businesses have been operating uninterrupted 24-hour services at Mile 3 Gombe, providing job opportunities to many youngsters. In this report, Trust TV's Ibrahim Ismail examines the economic contributions of the park to the people of Gombe State. Take a look.
It's midday here at the new Mile 3 Gombe, a renowned roadside motor park and business hotspot in the state capital. The roadside park is now a stopover for travelers from the northeast and other parts of the country. Yunus Asule sells suya. He has been operating for about 8 years and recorded a lot of successes thanks to the booming commercial activities here.
Gaskiya mu ne ku ci gaba gurin kasuwanci ne na al'umma na mutane da yawa.
Mile 3 is a business hub for a lot of people. The most interesting thing is that everyone here has a job to do. Drivers, car wash workers, and food vendors make fortunes in the 24-hour roadside motor park. For 6 years, this commercial driver, Babangida Usman, has been operating at the popular park. He built house from the proceeds of his work. While working here, I built a house and bought a car. Many of us have achieved a lot in the driving job. I drive from Kano to Gombe and Gombe to Yola. I always stop here, even at night. I eat and spend like 2 hours. I enjoy the place. Mile 3 is a preferred stopover for passengers en route to Kano, Bauchi, and Taraba State.
So I'm very excited with the place, and then I'm praying may Almighty Allah to bless those people that they are doing business here, and also to bless Gombe State as well. Government, they are to provide like a parking space for the motorists in order to have a place to park their cars also.
The new Mile 3 Traders Association facilitated the takeoff of the new motor park over a decade ago after they were asked to relocate from the old site.
Alhamdulillah, amma muna son mu a kokarin mu da roƙon mu da gwamnati yadda take tare da mu ta sake.
We are grateful and loyal to the state governor, but we want the market to be expanded so that buyers can have whatever they want to buy.
Haka muke fatan mu roƙe shi alfarmar wannan ya buɗa mana kasuwa ta faɗaɗa.
To commuters, the new Mile 3 Gombe is one of the best stopovers in the northeast because of the strategic position of Gombe State, located at the center of the northeast geopolitical zone. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Gombe.
You're still watching News Hour on Trust TV. More stories after the break.
Now, as part of efforts to support Africa's goal of strengthening...
Now, looking at the activity chart, as you can see right here, a total volume of 130...
a Boko Haram crisis that at that time was restricted to Yobe.
How secure are they? You can see security men with blood.
This is the road leading up to the...
Already, if you look at England squad, you are looking at EPL, you are looking at their names. You are not looking at...
Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Good morning, Nigeria. Year after year, they have informed, educated, and entertained us. When you needed information, knowledge, or an escape.
From generation to generation, the Nigerian broadcasting industry has worked tirelessly to serve you.
And now, this service will finally be recognized.
Come May 17th this year, broadcasters all over Nigeria will gather at a hotel and suites for the maiden edition of the Nigerian Broadcasting Awards, an award ceremony set to reward hard work and excellence in the broadcast media. Voting starts on 20th April and ends on 4th May 2023. Visit www.tnbawards.ng to vote now. They've served and they're still serving. It's time we say thank you. This award is organized by the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria, BON.
Welcome back. You're still watching News Hour on Trust TV. To more stories, the House of Representatives is to meet with the Foreign Affairs Minister, Geoffrey Oyema, officials of Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, and also others in the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to ascertain the condition of Nigerians trapped by conflict in Sudan. House Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila stated this in an address at the resumed plenary on Tuesday. He lamented the rapid descent of the Sudan crisis into the carnage of violent conflict that has entrapped many Nigerian residents in Sudan. The speaker assured that efforts are underway to ensure that Nigerian citizens resident in the Republic of Sudan as students, business people, and in other vocations are evacuated quickly and safely. And on the foreign scene, fierce fighting between rival generals raged on in Sudan on Tuesday, despite the latest truce, as warnings multiplied of the potential for a catastrophic humanitarian crisis with hundreds of thousands of refugees. A top UN aid official in Sudan, Abu Dieng, warned that the situation was turning into a full-blown catastrophe. Bloodshed has gripped Sudan since April 15, when tensions erupted into armed exchanges between regular army chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and his deputy-turned-rival Mohammed Hamdan Daglo, who commands the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces. Hundreds have been killed and thousands wounded as airstrikes and artillery exchanges have gripped swathes of Greater Khartoum, sparking the exodus of thousands of Sudanese to neighboring countries. Many more cannot afford the arduous journey to Sudan's borders and have been forced to hole up inside the city of 5 million people with dwindling supplies of food, water, and electricity. Uganda's Minister of State for Labour, Employment and Industrial Relations, Colonel Charles Okello Engola, was on Tuesday shot dead by one of his military bodyguards. Uganda police spokesman Fred Enanga said this happened as the deceased was entering his vehicle to go to work. Enanga said the killer also fired several shots at close range before he fled the scene to the trading center at Kianja Ring Road, where he entered a salon and shot himself. The police spokesman said investigations had commenced, adding that the police had dispatched crime scene experts who will use advanced technology to determine the exact cause of the murder. Eyewitnesses said the soldier complained about non-payment of his wages and mistreatment before he shot himself, according to a report. And in sport, Austrian club SV Ried have terminated the contract of Super Eagles midfielder Kingsley Michael. Michael joined Christian Henley's side from Serie B club Bologna on loan last summer. The 23-year-old, however, failed to impress during his time at the club. SV Ried announced the cancellation of Michael's contract on Tuesday, with the player now expected to return to his parent club. The player has been capped once at the international level by Nigeria. Now let's join Adeni Ajishafe for more on sports news.
In a bid to give children a sense of belonging and also develop sports in Nigeria, Hand to Hand Foundation has distributed training kits like jerseys and balls to 5 area councils and ball teams in Abuja to encourage children to go to school and also take part in sport. An exhibition game also took place at the event to showcase some talent in handball at the handball court of Old Parade Ground Sports Center, Area 10. After the distribution of jerseys and exhibition games, Kwale Under-12 boys defeated Abaji Under-12 boys 9-5, while Abuja Municipal Council Under-12 handball girls beat Buhari Under-12 girls 3-1 in their exhibition game. One of the foremost Under-12 handball players in Abuja, Richard Agbonifo, whose foundation distributed handball kits to handballers, said it is time for Nigerians to fight child neglect, child hawking, and child abuse by giving children the opportunity to go to school and also compete in sport.
The foundation generally is here in Nigeria to help develop
kids in sport and in education, to help them in every way they can. For example, taking them away from the streets, giving them education, giving them kits to be able to do the sports that they love to do, put that smile on their face, support them in the way, giving them transport fare to go to training, let them know that they are important in our society. So the reason I'm giving it to them today is these area councils or these teams do not have jerseys, so they don't have training kits. So the way to really support them and encourage them in what they are doing is the reason why we're doing this now, right now.
The former handball player called on parents, guardians and wealthy Nigerians to support children to venture into judo, boxing, basketball and other sports, adding that the foundation will also get the kids support soon. Coach of Abaji Under-12 handball team, who appreciated the organization, expressed hope that more Nigerians can help develop sport.
Though this is a shock, I know it's a surprise. This is the first time since we started handball in Mali. They haven't given us all these things. So today, the children are happy. They're happy to meet the Hand to Hand Foundation and the officials of Hand to Hand and any other reason. Although we are happy.
Over 100 handball players took part at the kit distribution event, and as handball teams from Kwali, Kuje, Abaji, Buari, Amak, with their under-12, under-15 and under-18 boys and girls handball teams, alongside special para-handball players, were also recognized and gifted kits alongside their coaches. That's Sport News. I'm Adeniyi Ajishafe.
And with that, we've come to the end of News Hour on Trust TV. Do well to follow us across all our media platforms. I'm Sagir Ibrahim, and on behalf of the crew, good night.
From the Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.